this is. Oh heck. Is this? Let's see here. Switch. Okay. Yeah, if anyone's watching me now, I can't quite tell if anyone is actually on this stream right now. I'm just giving it a bit of time to figure out any tech stuff, and if you have any tech stuff yourself that you need to figure out, this will give you a few minutes to get it going, as the official stream doesn't start for about roughly another 10 minutes. So doing what I can to get everything going so that my mic is working, and it should be, and my camera is working, which I'm like, hello. So just gonna make sure that everything is good, and then we can get going when 10 a.m. comes around. Okay, I hope that what I'm doing is right. Let's see here. Is that it? Okay, so let's see here. Close. Okay, so I have the chat up, so that's good. Okay. Okay, so I got the live chat up now, so it shows there's 2 watching. I don't know if that includes me. I have never done a live chat before, so this is going to be interesting. I believe that the mics are going to be muted by default, because if we have, say, 100 people coming into this chat and they all try talking at once, it's not going to work out. I know that much. So we're not going to do that. So if you have any questions that you've prepared, which I would love to hear your comments in the chat, and I have the chat up on YouTube right now, then if you have them written down, then you can start typing them away in the little chat thing there, so that when we get going here, you can save yourself some time and ask them immediately, so you don't have to worry about trying to rush and everything. We don't want to rush this. So it's going to be about, I've tabled this for about 2 hours, and if we find that we've answered all questions for the people who've come in, and it's like, say, 11:30 or something like that, then we'll just we'll wrap up. But we'll see how things go. So I haven't played pipes yet today. I played them on Thursday. And I'll discuss a few things with my own routines and whatever, so that it get an idea of what I work on. Maybe it'll help you out. But I'm excited for this. This is I thought this would be a fantastic thing to do. This is open to everybody. It's not just subscribers. Like, I don't want to go that route yet. So there's like 80% of viewers who have not subscribed, if I can talk English. And I'll mention that later on here in a few minutes when the live stream officially starts. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already and you like what I'm doing, then that would be awesome if you could do that, because we're at over 1,000 subscribers. So that would be fantastic. Oh, I already got comments. I like this. How's the pipe band competition going so far, and who are you competing with this year? And does the Shepherd plastic drum reeds are good reeds? I'll get to those in a second. Just so that when other people who come in, they want to hear the answers as well, then they can hear it, because we only have I don't know. I think it's just you two who have just put up comments. So give a few minutes for other people to come in, and I don't expect 10 people to come in the first minute. I just don't expect it, but you never know. Just trying to tidy up some stuff here. My pipes are not together, so if some people want to hear my pipes, then I'll have to do a little bit of monitor rearranging and get the pipes going and everything. So let's see here. We still have 2 going, so that works out fine. And I am recording this to post up for those who are unable to make the stream. I don't expect everybody to be able to make it. I know that there's a big contest in BC right now in Canada that I did not go to. I didn't register. But the professional P-Rock was like $30 to sign up for. And I just went, no, that's too much for me. It was going to be almost $100 Canadian to sign up for 4 solo contests. So I just went, no, to me, it's just not. And I'm not prepared for a couple of them anyway. So we have a few more minutes. Actually, you know what? I'll answer the first 2 comments that you guys have, and then I'll repeat the answers. At least summarize them anyway. Pipe band competition season is going good. I just had my first contest in Ontario, Canada, on Saturday, and it was very good. We played a long time. I think we played like, what was it? It was more than that. It was like 2 or 3 hours. I did 2 solo contests in the morning in front of Ken Adler and Hector McDonald, I think his name was. And it was a Strathspey reel, which went fine. The pipes, I got through the sets fine. The pipes, I realized afterwards that the reed I was using was not working. When I took it out of the chanter and blew into it, it squealed very vaguely. And if it squeals a lot, then that's a bit of a hint that you don't want to use the reed. Maybe keep it to the side. You might be able to poke it, but when you poke a reed, that's going to make it flatter. And if you're already having to sink the heck out of the reed into the seat, then oh, somebody was in there. Oh, awesome. That's excellent. Oh, that's awesome. You have to sink the reed into the chanter to make it go sharper. If it's I was trying to aim for 480, and now I'm at about 483, which is it's not quite field marshal pitch, which is like 485. I've heard that anyway. I've never actually played with them, but yeah, it was good. We played for 2 or 3 hours, and the drones were okay. They were not as stable as they are now. Right now, I've changed my setup, which I'll discuss in a second. And we warmed up in the shady area of the woods, or the tree area where a lot of the bands warm up in, if you've been there. And we sounded excellent. A couple of notes that we had to change, but I mean, any band has to do that. Doesn't matter what grade you're in. So we did that, and we were waiting for all of the bands like Ottawa Police and all the other bands. And I can't remember all their names. It's just the first one that pops up, so no disrespect to them at all. But we were waiting for them to go on. We went on, and then we went into the competition circle, and the pipes started going. The pipes were really nice. Went up a couple of decibels, whatever you call it, and it went well. We played really well, and then we went on to play against the Frasers, the 70 Fraser Highlanders, and we were pretty much exhausted. We'd been playing for a long time, and our tone was not as good as we could have made it, so we all knew that. There's a little bit of rushing in the end reel because it was an MSR. So it was as good as we can get. It was a long day. I'm not a fan of sunscreen, so I had face cream to put on for a little bit of moisturizer, and you know what? It went pretty well. We were happy with how it went, and we got best base in midsection in the grade 1 when we challenged up, so we were absolutely ecstatic for that. Yeah, we were all so happy for the midsection of the drum corps. That was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. So it's 10 a.m. now, so the live stream has officially started. So we have 4 watching right now, and I've already got a few comments in there. So thank you for those comments, and thank you to those who are watching. And for the live streams that I've watched before, that other people have done, I kind of have an idea of how to run some of these, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I do appreciate that, because I know we're all busy people. So yeah, for the first, anybody should be able to see the chat section. If you can't hear my mic properly, or I'm coming through staticky, or my camera's a little bit weird, just let me know in the comments and I'll do what I can to fix that. Second comment I see here is, does the Shepherd plastic drone reeds are good reeds? I have never actually tried the Shepherd plastic drone reeds before. I have tried Shepherd chanter reeds, pipe chanter reeds. It's been a while since I've done that, maybe a year. But when I tried the chanter reeds, they actually sounded pretty darn good. And the Shepherd drone reeds, I would love to try them out. But drone reeds typically go between, let's say, $100 and $200. I'm going to put in that price range. So I don't, money's a little tight right with me right now because I was working in a warehouse earlier, and I'm epileptic. I've been epileptic my entire life, so not a massive deal. Other people I know are it affects way more drastically than I am. So my thoughts towards them for that, because it's terrible to go through that. So the warehouse job didn't work out for that, and started going to McDonald's part time. They're trying to increase my hours, so that's where. Now the reason I say that is because you need to be able to have money to buy this stuff, right? Piping and drumming is not a very cheap sport per se, right? Drone reeds usually cost up to $200. And if I keep buying drone reeds to test all the time, then it gets expensive. And unfortunately, I don't have any sponsorships through like McCallum or Nail or any of these big wig names. And eventually, if that happens, that'll be absolutely fantastic. I'll be happy to work with them, but we're just not at that stage yet. So yeah, Georgetown went good, and I thought I saw you there. I'll have to introduce myself next time. Yes, please do. It's funny that you say that, because there's a comedian I watch, and he's from California, and Gabriel Iglesias, if you've heard of him, he's absolutely hilarious. My wife and I love watching him. He years back he did a show in California. I forget where, but he said that if anybody wanted to come up to him and introduce themselves and enjoy your content or enjoy your shows or whatever, and you want to come and do that, introduce yourself to me, I would love to get to meet you. I have no problem doing that. Seriously, I'm not even joking. So we have 5 people watching the stream. So thank you for joining. We had an extra one come in. So now earlier on, just before the main stream started, I said that I had changed my own pipe setup because it wasn't quite the setup I was using wasn't working with the stability and the consistency of tuning that I was looking for. The reeds that I was using were, I believe it was the Celt Bass and the Balanced Tone tenors. Now both of those brands, when I tested them, they went really well. Excuse me. So when I was testing them, they were actually doing pretty well, and they stayed consistent and everything. When you start mixing the chanter in and everything else and start doing all the tuning, the calibration, things can tend to change. I think that if you're familiar with calibrating drone reeds and getting chanters going in and all of that stuff, then that it can get a little bit interesting, right? Things start to change. Drones start to wave. Chanters starts to go flatter or sharper. And when I competed, I realized that the system I had wasn't quite what I needed. So now what I've got is I've got a Kane bass, which sounds unreal. I haven't used Kane in years. And I have 2 easy drone tenors. Those drone tenors, for my pipes anyway, because every pipe is different, those worked very, very well. They actually worked better than the Celt ones, or the Balanced Tone rather. So the Balanced Tone didn't quite work for my setup, but when I tested them earlier, they actually were working quite well. They were nice and steady. For me, they just didn't work out long term. So Please don't be discouraged about buying any of those reed brands, because I don't want to bring the message across like that. That's not my intention. But the cane bass that I got in there sounds unbelievable. It's so rich. If you've ever tried using cane versus tenors, then you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a bit of a subtle difference between using cane and synthetic. Cane sounds a lot more natural, and it has a completely different sound to it. It sounds so awesome. So, if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask in the chat, then please do so, because we've only had the 3 come in, and I will give you some time to write them in here. So, just to get another sip of water. There's a lot of videos up on my channel, so if you have any questions about any of them, let me know. I might have to go and see exactly what you're talking about, because there's just so many on there. I think it's like over 100, so 120 maybe right now. So we'll see how that goes. Excuse me. There's another one. What bag are you using in your setup? You're in the past when sorry, I forgot to answer the other part of your question from earlier. Who are you competing with this year? I have been playing with the Peel Regional Police for, I think this is my 7th year with them, and I'm a flying player, so I didn't think I was going to be there that long. But it's such an amazing group, and we're going to go places. And that's what I think they'd be comfortable with me saying. We got a good thing going, and we hope that it keeps going that way. What big are you using your setup? We have, before, when we were in grade 1, we were using the we were using a sheepskin, and I can't remember what brand of sheepskin it was, but that's what we were using. And right now we're using the Ganaway hybrid bags. And those bags are actually really good. I think this one's lasted me like 4 or 5 years. Like, it's a lot. Those bags last a long time. With the amount of seasoning and stuff I've in them, they've changed color a little bit, a little bit darker. But the airtightness of the bag is still there. It has not gone down in efficiency, and I find that really impressive. With other bags that I've used, like I've used Ross, and I think years back I used Canmore, and that bag just didn't quite work for me. It will work for people who are just getting started on the pipes, like, novice players and beginners, because it doesn't require as much maintenance at all. With sheepskin, we had to keep using seasoning in the bags, because that's what sheepskin are. They're natural, right? They're natural hide. So you have to keep using, you have to keep putting seasoning, and you have to prime it first before you put any seasoning in it in the bag if it's brand new. So those bags sounded really, really nice, but as many of you will probably know if you're familiar with sheepskin bags and natural hide, those bags require a ton of maintenance and consistent play. So, for example, if you don't play for a few days, then your bag is going to be affected more than it would be with synthetic, right? So the Ganaways right now are working really nicely, and you don't have to play them like, every single day. It's not an absolute requirement. Preferably, if you can play them every day for like 20, 30 minutes minimum, just to get the moisture flowing through the bag, and then to get the chanter reed with get the moisture on the chanter reed to start to get absorbed into the blades and keep that level of moisture consistent. Then that helps out. But yeah, that's the bag we've been using for, I'm going to say, the last 4 or 5 years. Because when we went down to grade 2, when the RSPBA brought us down to grade 2 out of grade 1, the Pipers Society of Ontario actually did not automatically bring us down out of grade 1. John Cairns asked the society to respect the wishes of the RSPBA, which I thought was very professional, and asked them to bring us down to grade 2 so that we could rebuild and refine our system, which I think was a very smart choice, because we've gone even farther than we were back then. And the reason why we went from sheepskin bags to Ganaway bags is because sheepskin are really expensive compared to other bags like Ganaway and other hybrid bags. Those things are expensive. They're not cheap. And they take a lot of consistency and maintenance, as I mentioned. So that's why we thought there's no point in having a sheepskin bag when it's not required in grade 2. Some bands will like it, and that's up to them. But for grade 1 even, some bands are going away from the sheepskin, which just requires so much care and maintenance, to hybrid bags like Ganaway, which don't require all that much maintenance. So I'll give you a second to write any other questions that you might have. I might have to grab some more water here soon. But yeah, pipe band season is going to go good. So I'm only going to one other contest at the North Americans in Maxville, Ontario, at the beginning of August in the World Championships. So looking forward to that. Let's see here. So we have 4 people watching, so the viewer has been up and down a little bit. So, but I know it's only like 10 minutes into the stream, so we're still going good. So, oh yeah, I was going to mention at the beginning of the stream that I think my subscriber count has, we're definitely up over 1,000. We're almost at, where I think we're one subscriber off of 1,130, which is absolutely unreal. A year ago, we weren't at that. And the percentage of people subscribing to the channel has actually been down a little bit, but you know what? My schedule has not been consistent just because they've been putting me on shift work. My days are not consistent. I'm going to try to improve on that very soon and go from there. But if you are watching the stream and haven't subscribed, I really encourage you to do so, because subscribing to YouTube costs absolutely nothing. Nothing. You won't even notice that you've subscribed, honestly. I've subscribed to channels and I forget that I've subscribed, honestly. Unless you hit the bell for notifications for like emails and email reminders and things, you're not going to notice. So if you don't want a whole bunch of emails coming into your inbox and getting bombarded with those, then that's not a problem, right? You have to actually hit the bell for notifications, and subscribing to a channel doesn't automatically turn those on, just so you know. My mom didn't know that. She's like, how do you subscribe to your channel? And another student of mine asked the same thing, and I went, okay, explanation time. So thought I mentioned that just in case anyone's wondering. So we got 5 watching now, and let's see here. So do we have any questions about tuning? Is a big one. A lot of people have struggles off and on with tuning. So is there anything about tuning that anyone has any questions or not quite sure about? Maybe you're unsure about how this works or how this works, or which way the drones have to go up to go flat or sharp. And like, how can I make your job with your pipes easier? There's a lot of, I'm sure there's definitely questions that that can be asked that I can answer. There are going to be some questions that I may not know the answer to, but if one of those comes up, then I'll write them down, because I'll want to know as well, because I don't know absolutely everything. I don't think anybody on this planet really does. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to write some stuff down if you want. Let's see here. I'm just going to check my audio levels. They're good. Reminder, if anyone who may have just come into the stream, let me know that my audio levels and stuff are good. I got a new mic about 2 months ago, so hopefully it's coming in good. And the camera's still going. So, yeah. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, I'm from India, and how I joined UK Army Pipe Band. Tell me. That is actually that's an interesting question. I never thought of that. Um, I guess for one, I don't know exactly how army bands work because I can't join the army because of my own medical conditions. But if you're from India and you want to join a UK army band, then I would get a hold of I would try to get a hold of somebody and maybe let's see here. Um, hmm. I know that one of our players in Peel actually completed his Pi Majors course at Edinburgh Castle, and I think many people will probably know Brian Donaldson because he's been doing this for a long time. Oops, let me just quickly get my video going back again. And there we go. He would be the one of the people that I could ask for information on that. Otherwise, you can try getting a hold of somebody at Edinburgh Castle, or look it up at Google for Army School of Piping. Actually, it's probably even a better one, because I don't have enough information on that to really give you a concrete answer. You'd have to get a hold of somebody. So if you Google it for Army School of Piping or something, and email them, even if they don't know who precisely to get to pass you on to, they can probably give you some information that I just don't have enough information on. So hopefully that answers that question. How did you get your start in piping? Oh, okay. So let's see. I I started piping in 1998. So September is essentially 25 years. Um, I got start. My mom played my the Robertsons that I play now. She played when she was younger, and she played with a band in Trail, BC, which is in the interior of the province. So she piped, she did Highland dancing, and her brother, my uncle, also played. And he was quite good in solos. Won a few prizes. Um, but neither one of them really, went too far with it. But life happens. So um, when what was it? I think I was 6. My mom told me that I had a choice of learning either violin or bagpipes. So I tried learning violin when I was 5. And back then, I'm pretty sure I had ADHD, I swear, because I could not sit still. Um, I started taking lessons with SCFU group from Jack Lee and Rob McNeil, and before they did a whole bunch of university infrastructure upgrades, where I wouldn't even recognize the building today because I haven't been there for a while. But I remember sitting in that class, and I could not sit still. I drove Jack Lee nuts. So when I did that, he told my mom that if I could not sit still and stop disrupting the class, that I would not be allowed back, because you just can't put up with that, and I completely understand that. It's can't say anything against it. So when my mom told me that, she could not get me to put my chanter down. My chanter would be playing for the entire week. I came back and Jack was on. He was floored with how much progress I made in a week. So that's how I got my start. So I've been going ever since. And my mom gave me her Robertson pipes, and she jokingly said, "You're going to give me your pipes back one day because technically mine." I said, "Well, who's going to outplay who?" Just joking. But yeah, that's how I got my start, and I've never looked back. See here. Here's another comment. Sometimes I found it difficult to hear the wah wah while tuning the bass to the tenor when I'm getting closer to the right spot. Let's see here. Difficult to hear the wah wah while tuning the bass. Yeah, I understand you. Yep, totally hear you. The bass, because the bass is one octave below the tenors, it's difficult to hear. I totally understand. I feel you there. Um, Especially when you're trying to play outside and there's a lot of ambient noise around you. That's a pain. I had that problem on Saturday when I played. My bass was I almost couldn't hear it. It was very frustrating. Um, With the bass, it also depends on how much air the bass drone reed is taking. If it's taking more air, it's going to be a little bit louder, right? But then that also means it's going to be harder, so it's going to be taking more. It's going to take more air to make it go. So, for my tuning routine, some folks will bring all of their drones in and then tune them bing bada bong, and they'll do it that way. For me, I find it easiest and quickest to get the drones going, tap out the middle drone, and I would tune the outside tenor to low A, because low A is the note that you're going to tune to, and then you get your high A. Your high A and your low A should be in the same spot, right? So tune your outside tenor to the low A, and then get your bass going. And if the bass is really out of tune, you should be able to hear the waves of that. And if when you bring it up or down, you just got to listen to how many waves or wah-wahs you're getting when you bring the drone up or down. And if the waves start to decrease, then you know that the drone is starting to get a little bit more in tune. If the waves start to increase, you know you got to go the other way. So sometimes even I don't know, I'll bring it up or down, and whichever way the waves start to increase, then I'll just go the opposite way, and eventually within a couple seconds I'll usually get it. But yeah, it's good. A very good question. Bass drone tuning can be a real doozy. I hear ya. So hopefully I answered that properly. Here's another one. How many tunes you learn in whole life? Oh gosh. Interesting question. I don't have a concrete answer, to be honest. I have. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna quickly pull out my. No, I'm gonna show you this just so that you have a visual perspective. This right here is my book of marches. 2 4s, 6 8s, 3 4s, you name it, other time signatures. So, yeah, that's how thick that book is, and that's for marches alone. That doesn't even include light music like Strasbass and reels, hornpipes, and jigs and pibrochs. That does include those. And I also have a book of drum scores, because I've been a snare drummer since I was 16. And oh, you're welcome. And yeah, I have learned countless tunes in my life, so to actually give a number on it would be pretty much impossible. I think, like as a kind of a little fact, I believe that there's over, I don't know whether it's 10,000 or 100,000 pipe tunes published in the world. It's some crazy number. It would take you a long, long time to go through every single tune that's ever been written. And even if you did eventually get to the end of the road, which I don't even know is actually possible, people are still coming up with new tunes all the time. So frankly, actually, I think it's impossible to actually go through every single tune ever written. Because some tunes also they can be hard to find, even if you try to search them on Google. So, yeah. I don't know. I have no idea how many tunes I've learned in my whole life. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's a very short answer to that. But this is great. I'm happy to see all these comments and questions coming up. I'm happy to see this. This is excellent. If you guys, I'll put this up on my Facebook page as well. And let's see here. I'm actually going to. I'll edit my video afterwards because I don't want to wreck the live stream here. But I'll put up the link to my Facebook page and any other printed resources that I think would help you out at the end of it. Because, like I say, I am recording this. I'm not just live streaming it. So anybody who didn't see it, they'll be able to see it later on, because I don't want to, make it exclusive or anything. I want to be inclusive. Can you come India and see my bagpipe tunes? Well, my first answer to, let me put it this way: flights are not cheap, and India is a long way away. That's because I know that flying to Scotland, where I've been like 10 times or something, that flight alone is like 2 grand, between 1,500 and 2 grand. So if that's what you're meaning, then that's a very expensive, and I don't expect anybody to actually pay for flights for me for that kind of thing. And frankly, um, see my bag pay for a much cheaper and frankly technically free option. If you want me to see your bagpipe tunes, then the best thing for you to do is to record it. Record on your phone if you have a smartphone or something, which many people do. I mean, I know not everybody does, but if you have something that you can record your tunes and then send them to me with a YouTube video or recording, like a Google Drive or OneDrive or something like that, then that way, if you want some feedback on them and see how you're doing, then that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it, because I don't think you want to pay for me to fly out there just to hear some tunes, and it's kind of it's not really sensible to do that unless I was going to do a big workshop. But yeah, just record it, record your tunes, send them to me, and you know how to go to hold of me through like comments and stuff like that. So yeah, I would just go from there for that. So let's see. Is anybody having any issues with like striking in the bag or losing air efficiency, anything like that you're unsure about? Oh, how to deal with low humidity. Oh, actually, that's a good one. Yeah, every place in the world has a different level of moisture in the air, so that's a very good question. How to deal with low humidity. Yeah, now, with places like India and I'm gonna throw this out of the open, like Colorado in the States, though places like those have very low humidity levels and moisture in the air. When you have low humidity levels, then there's at least one way that you can do you can put a little bit more moisture in the bag. And I haven't done it for a few years now, but one way you can do it is to I guess there's let me approach this in two ways here, because if you have a pipe bag that has a zipper, which not everybody does, then what you can do is if you don't have a zipper pipe bag, then you can take we're going to start small here. We're going to take a teaspoon of water and put it into one of the stalks, maybe the middle tenor stalk, just so that it's a little bit more central in the bag. Don't put it through the chatter stalk, because it's a bit of a narrow spot in there. Put it through the middle tenor stalk and let it drop into the bag. Inflate the bag. Put corks in the stalks. Inflate the bag, and then roll that water around for a few minutes, or a couple minutes anyway, and let that water go around the bag to give it a little bit more moisture in there. And then take the corks out, and then deflate the bag with your hands, and then rub it around and see how it feels. Really depends on what kind of pipe bag you got. If you have a hybrid like a Ganaway or a Canmore or something like that's kind of more like fat, like it has like a plastic feel on the outside, that's not gonna matter as much, but that's gonna contribute more to the sound that your pipe chanter gives off. It might be because in drier climates where it doesn't have as much humidity and moisture in the air, your chanter is going to be sharper because your reed is not acquiring as much moisture. So it's not going to be vibrating as well as it could in a wetter climate, so like the Pacific Northwest, where we have pretty much the same climate as Scotland. Not quite as much. But that's one way that you can deal with low humidity. If the second one is that if you have a zippered bag, which is becoming more common, then you can undo the zipper on the bag. You can take a damp. Don't do a soaking wet sponge here, okay? Take a sponge dampen the sponge and then wring it out so that it still has some moisture in it. It still has a little bit of water in the fibers, but don't put soaking wet because that's going to oversaturate it and you don't want that. Wring the sponge out and then place it inside the bag, and you don't have to tape it or anything like that. Don't worry about it. Just drop it in the middle of the bag. Do the zipper up, and that's going to give you an extra subtle level of moisture that you can use inside the bag. So if you live in like Colorado or another drier place where the humidity is a little bit lower and you want to have a little bit more moisture in the bag to help with the reed, then that will be one way that you can do it. And I did that. Oh heck, I think it was 2016 or 17. We played in Elma, Michigan, and that contest was about 2 weeks ago, actually. And I had to put a sponge in my bag, and I think a bunch of us had to because it was just so dry that year. Because our chances were just climbing and we couldn't keep the pitch down. So threw some sponges in there, and that helped bring down the sharpness and help bring up the level of moisture and humidity. So I hope that answers that question. It was quite a bit of information in there, but hopefully I made that, hopefully it summarize that pretty well. Do you have any exercise to suggest me doing to improve steady blowing squeezing, please? So this is one. That's a good question as well. These are all good questions. I love this. These steady blowing and squeezing. Well, aside from the fact that it's going to vary from person to person because everybody has a different. Everyone has different levels of strength in their arms and things to squeeze the bag for one. And we all have different levels of moisture that we blow out of our mouths when we're blowing into the bag. If your pipe bag, let's see here. If you have a pipe bag that is airtight, so if you put corks in all the stalks and you make sure that the pipe bag is not losing a lot of air, like it's not going to be 100% airtight, but if it's as airtight as you can get and you don't feel like you're losing a lot of air, then you can put the blowpipe in and put the chanter in and work on squeezing the bag like that so you don't have the extra bit of air going through the drones like you would if you had reeds in there. So that's what I suggest to a lot of beginners who are learning on the pipes and they're trying to increase their blowing and squeezing strength. Because going from chanter to full-on pipes, that's a massive step, right? You're only blowing into a chanter and playing with your fingers. That's it. Pipes are very, very different because, especially psychologically, you're only focusing on blowing into a chanter and fingering and you're not using your arm. When you go into the pipe bag, it's enough said there. So there's another thing that you can also do, and I researched this a while ago, is you can, with a pipe bag, you can also get an adapter, and they're not as widely common as I actually thought when I looked it up, but you can get an adapter that goes into the pipe stock of your pipes, and you can stick your practice chanter in there, and work with it that way. Now, the only disadvantage that I see to that is that there's quite a difference strength-wise between a practice chanter and a pipe reed, right? If you try one and then try the other, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So I would, yeah, and just the other thing that I want to mention is don't feel discouraged if you don't get it overnight. Blowing and squeezing, if you're new to that, is a long process, okay? So if you're unsure about how long the process should be, I don't have a concrete answer because everyone's going to be different with how much time they take for that. Just be patient with it and maybe analyze it if you're not sure about that. But yeah, do that. And don't put the drones in right away for the pipes if you're using a pipe chanter reed. And the other thing I want to quickly mention before I get into the next comment that just came up is there's a misconception that you have to play a really hard reed to get a good sound out of a pipe. That is full-on baloney. That's not true. For me, I play between easy and easy medium for a pipe reed for solo. I have never played a hard reed. I don't think I played a hard read anyway. And even if I did, why? Why play a harder read that you're struggling on just because you want to get a bit of a higher volume out of it? Is just not practical. Um, when I pick out reads, I test how the crow is and test how hard it is. If it's really hard, I put it to the side. I'm not even dealing with that, right? It's not worth my time. So get a read that's like probably easy. Like you can get even very easy. It might not give as much volume as the easy or easy medium read might, but it's still better than going with a hard read. If someone says you need a really hard read to make your pipe sound good, that's a misconception, and I would steer away from that. Let's see. I have actually two more. Oh, there's two more comments here. First one: how you earn money in pipe band field. So let's see. How can I'm trying to think of how to summarize this without making it really long. The first way is teaching individual students, and I have a couple students right now, and I'm always looking for more students and to help people out. Do private lessons, do band workshops, get paid for judging, which I'm looking into right now is becoming a judge. I didn't make the last session, but judging, teaching individual students, teaching bands, which I've done for quite a few years. I've taught a few different bands, and that's how you can make money at it. And also with the YouTube stuff I'm doing, eventually I'm hoping to make money and make that more of a job because I love doing this. So that's how you can make money doing that, and also by making like bagpipes and pipe channel reeds and stuff like that. But that's a whole different kettle of fish that I'm not going to touch on right now. But those are a few ways that you can do that. Next comment. I just got back into an unzippered hide bag after having some grommet issues on successive synthetic bags. Any recommendations for a post-practice routine putting the pipes away? Oh, okay. So you just got an unzippered hide bag. Okay. Having some grommet issues. Okay, yeah. If the grommets aren't working, then that's not going to work very well, is it, for the grommet bag? Yeah, I've had issues with grommets, and that's not fun. Any recommendations for a post-practice routine putting the pipes away? Okay, so it's becoming more common, but it will also depend on your area and if you have this. For me, because I'm a wet blower, I blow more moisture out of my mouth than other people will into my pipes. I have a plastic tube trap that goes into my bag, and we have what's called a split stock that doesn't that prevents the bulk of the moisture, like saliva, going into the bag, because you don't want all that stuff in there. You don't want to oversaturate the bag if you can. So I'll take my blowpipe out. I'll dump that out of the bag so that it doesn't just stay there, and I'll put my pipes down in my bag. I'll usually take the drones out. I'll take the reeds out of the drones so that they can dry out, and put a cap on your. Actually, yeah. So you do that. Take the pipes out. Take the drone reeds out. Put them to the side, or put them in a case, preferably a case, so that they stay safe. Mine are on my table right now, but I make sure that they don't fall off. And what I know that some people do, because I think it's more of a fact of awareness, is that some folks will keep their chanter in the stock. If you do that, I would advise you to change your way of doing that. It's better to take the chanter out of the stock and to put a chanter cap on it, and I don't care whether it's a black cap that has no humidity control stuff like that. If you're familiar with that stuff, you don't need all that fancy stuff. Just put a chanter cap with a screw over top of the reed and prevent it from getting hurt that way. Because what will happen is, if you keep the chanter in the stock, the reed's moisture levels are not going to be consistent, and if you don't play for a few days, then it's going to build up, and it's going to get too moist. because there's still levels of moisture in the bag, right? It doesn't just disappear over 5 minutes. So do that, and ensure that you're not putting too much moisture on the chantereed. So yeah, post-practice routine is take the pipes apart and just dry them out, especially if you're in a moist climate, and just keep do what you can to not get too much moisture in the bag so that the drone reeds are not saturated, and you don't and you can prolong the life of your chantereeds, because chantereeds don't last forever, right? If you keep them in the pipes for too long, then the reeds are not going to they're not going to last for very long. And testing on new reeds it's a lot of time, right? So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Oh, here's another. Hi, Kyle. Thank you for doing this. You're very welcome. I use, excuse me. I use a tone protector after my practice sessions. I do too. I think I have 3 of them. It keeps a stable humidity level. Do you use something similar? Absolutely. Like I just said, I got 3 tone protectors. You already did a fantastic job with making that product. That is absolutely revolutionary. I guess it's evolutionary is the right word, whichever. But yeah, those do absolutely fantastic. I use those all the time, and I have a red one for my band chanter and a blue one for my solo, just so I know which one is which. But the one thing I will note with those tone protectors is I had a student recently that had a little bit of trouble with hers. She lost she couldn't see the humidity meter on the top of the hygrometer or hydrometer, or however you say it. I think it's hygrometer. She couldn't see the number on top of it because the battery had died. Actually, sorry. The battery was fine. The mechanisms inside the structure of the reader were not working. So I actually learned how the thing works by taking the thing apart very carefully and mentally noting how it went back together. I took it apart and gently put it back together, and actually got the thing working again. So that was a whole new level of technology for me that I wasn't sure of how to do, but thankfully we got it working again. But yeah, tone protectors are absolutely fantastic. The big thing that I'll note that if some of you are unfamiliar with the tone protectors, compared to the regular block ones that you can get for I'm gonna say give or take 50 bucks or something like that. They're not expensive. Humidity ones, they are not cheap. They're like $100 a piece. So if you don't want to go with one of those and just go with a regular chanter protector, but I would strongly encourage you to go with a chanter protector of some sort, even if it doesn't have those humidity level readings. So yeah, those things are absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I know that SFU uses them. At least they used to use them. I'm pretty sure they still do, and I know Peel uses them all the time. A lot of bands are using them because they're so helpful. So yeah, those things usually stay around 84%. And actually, other thing I'll point out with the tone protectors is that at least with me, what I've noticed is if you struggle to keep 84% with those things, which is the typical recommended level, then if one pack is not keeping it at 84%, then use 2. There's no issue with using 2 packs in those things. You can it is a little bit tight to fit 2 in, but it is possible. You can put 2 in there instead of just 1, and that will help to prevent 1 pack from from drying out and then you not realizing, which I've also done. I've been like, oh shoot, that thing is at like 40-50%, right? And that's low. So I've put in 2 packs so that if one goes down, then you still have the other one to back the first one up, right? So I learned that a while ago, and it actually helps me out quite a bit with keeping mine in going. So good questions, guys. I love this. This is absolutely fantastic. If you're new to the stream, I am recording this for those who are unable to make it, because not everyone can make it at the same time. So keep your questions coming, guys. This is absolutely fantastic. I love this. If you guys want, I think this stream is going pretty well, so I'll look at doing another stream like this eventually. It won't be in like a week or anything, but I'll do it eventually sometime, the next while, just so that there's more opportunity for just, a few people to come in. I know the time zones are going to be a bit of a pain too, right? Because this is 10 a.m. PDT, Pacific Daylight Time, and other people in like Australia or wherever else, they're going to be at like midnight or something if they're way off. So I also understand that. So take a sip of water. I may have to duck away from my desk in just a minute here to get some more water, but I would be right back. But I'll let you know if I do that. So yeah, keep it coming, guys. This is absolutely fantastic. If I seem a little bit on the tired side, I am, because yesterday work was just absolutely chaotic. We had one person not come in, no show, and I work in a restaurant, and it was extremely busy. So last night, I was just done. So, but I wasn't about to. I still was gonna do the live stream because I made a commitment to that. So I wasn't about to, go off of that. There we go. But yeah, it's 10 to 11 now, and we're still doing good. So live stream, I tabled it to go till about noonish, and if we still have questions coming after that, then you can still email me after that and whatnot. So because I got to help my mom move a fish tank later when she moves to her new place. But yeah, this is good. So, I think if any of you follow my Facebook page, which I will put the link down below after the live stream here, I don't want to touch it because I don't want it to mess anything up. But the website's back up, so bantammusic.com. I just got it back up this morning after talking to tech support. I was with Wix before, and I'm going with GoDaddy in the States, which they're absolutely fantastic. You can get a hold of customer service in like 5 minutes. At least this morning it was. So they helped me get it going, and the mobile version we're still waiting for it, but the desktop version is still good, and still waiting to get a few things going with the website, but it's looking fantastic. Got some new photos going and everything else, and if anyone is away from the website a little bit, if anyone is looking for private lessons, I can do online lessons with Skype, Facebook Messenger, or MS Teams, Zoom. I do practically anything. So if you're looking for lessons, I'm happy to do that. We just got to figure out times and so forth, all logistics stuff. So I'm happy to do that. I've only got 2 students right now, and 2 others couldn't do that because of scheduling. But let me know if you're interested. I've been doing a lot of talking, so I hope that it's not coming across as negative or anything like that. So just trying to answer the questions and comments as best I can. We have a really good chat going. This thing is absolutely full. This is awesome. Let's see here. I've got to run, but thanks for doing this, Kyle. I appreciate it. No problem. Hope you have a good day, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I just finished mowing the lawn about half hour before I got the live stream started, and we're gonna have some rain later. So I was happy to get that done with some household chores and everything before we got this going. Thanks for your questions and answers. You're very welcome. Thank you for coming on and asking the questions. They were interesting ones. Other thing I wanted to check while I have you guys on here is if there's any video ideas that you would like me to work on, any tune tutorials that you would like me to get going soon, please let me know and I can get going in those, because I just I'm currently working on recording the 3rd and 4th part of Meeting of the Waters. I think it's a 4/4 March. And that video that I'm going to get done soon is going to encompass the rest of the tune. It's going to be the 3rd and 4th part, just so I can move on to some other stuff. But if there's a tune that you would like to learn, or part that you're struggling with, then let me know. And if I have the tune, then I'll start working on that as soon as I can. So I want to help you guys out. Some tunes are easier than others, and some are more technical and so forth. So let me know. Let's see here. So a couple. So I'll go back to a few of the other questions that I was doing earlier in the chat. If anyone's curious, is someone asked me at the very beginning of the chat, like just before we started, actually, that they asked me if I used the Shure plastic drone reeds, and no, I have not. I've used the Shure pipe channel reeds, and they work really well. They're not. I believe that they're not ridge cut, which if you have a reed if you have the reed here, let's see here. If you have the reed and it's going like this, then it goes like this. It has like the ridge right here in the middle of the reed, and others just go straight up from the binding. And either one, they work fine. But no, I've never actually used Shure drone reeds before. I'm curious to know how they actually work, because drone reeds are not cheap. And someone asked me what bag I was using in my setup. I'm currently using a Ganaway bag. I've been using that for a few years. And at the moment, I'm using a Kane base drone reed and Easy Drone tenors with a new chanter reed I just put in the setup. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Sounds really, really good. Using Kane drone reeds takes time and a little bit of patience to get going. If you're not familiar with those, then you need to know how to use them. A lot of people don't realize that you actually have to use a paper clip to push in through the reed to make the tongue go up, because otherwise it has no way to vibrate. So let's see here. Another question from Lewis. Do you recommend wetting or squeezing the chanter reed to help get it in tune, or do you try to break it in naturally? Oh, very good question. Okay, so recommend wetting or squeezing the chanter reed. So this one has a little bit of a subjective tone to it, because everybody does things differently with chanter reeds. I'm not even joking. I can actually kind of a very subtle how do I put this? Chanter reeds are kind of like pibroch. Sometimes you don't know how to play pibroch, and reeds can be just as temperamental as pibroch can be. With chanter reeds, I'm not a huge fan of wetting and squeezing chanter reeds, and for the wetting part, there's a reason for that. Because just like the amount of moisture that each of us respectively blows into our bagpipes, we all blow a different amount of moisture. Reeds are very temperamental, and they do take time to break in naturally. So with the way that we are in society right now, we're in an era of time in history where we like instant gratification, right? There's stuff going in our life all the time, and sometimes we're busy, sometimes we're have a bit of chill times. We don't like waiting for a lot of things, and unfortunately that sometimes migrates subtly into waiting for chanter reeds to break in naturally. I try to break in my reeds naturally and give them a little bit of time, usually at least a few days, because especially if the reed has never been exposed to moisture or any other sort of environmental factors, you need to give the reed some time to break in naturally. That's what I would suggest. Chanter reeds are, they're cane, right? That's what chanter reeds are. They're cane blades with binding and a copper staple. Some have copper staples and others don't. But with chanter reeds, you want to give them time to break in naturally. So try playing them a little bit. Squeezing a reed, you can. You just got to be careful. So when you squeeze a reed, let me see here. I'm just going to get a reed, and I'm going to quickly show you for purposes here. Let's see here. Where are we? Open my bag here a moment. I'm going to get you one out. I don't have one immediately here. There we go. So these are all the reeds that I have going right now in my case, and if you're familiar with the tone protector, you'll know what this is. Nice little case that is humidity controlled. So if I take out, let's see here, I'm going to take out one of Jack Lee's reeds, which I don't know if they're made anymore, actually. If you, now you can see, let's see here, I'm going to quickly change my focus around here a little bit. There we go. Oh, almost there. So if you see the two blades of cane there, you see that you can, hopefully you can see right through the staple. So if I pinch the reed together, you see that those two blades come right together. Now, you don't want to pinch the reed any more than until the blades come together like that. So as soon as they do that, then you hold it for maybe 5 to 10 seconds. So let me just refocus here. And if you do that, then that's going to do two things. That's going to make the reed a little bit easier, which is usually why people squeeze reeds. And it's also going to make it sharper because the space between the blades has gone down, right? There's less air to go through, to travel through the reed and through the between the blades, so it's going to make it sharper. And if your reed is already if you're already trying to make it flatter and it's already way up and you make it flatter and you make it sharper, then you're gonna have to bring it down. So then, or actually, sorry, if it's already really far into the chanter and you can't push it any farther, then you're gonna have to move it up because it's gonna be too sharp. But for purposes of your question, which is to get it to work better with you, I would refrain from wetting a reed too much. Now I know that's a little bit subjective because that's going to vary a little bit. The one thing, but when you get a reed going, you can wet it a little bit, and the most I would do is kind of like just like this. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. There's none of it looking like a lollipop because I've seen people do that. I mean, that kind of makes me shudder a little bit. If you do that, I'd recommend you don't do that. Don't do that again because that's going to saturate the reed too much, and you're going to negatively affect the longevity of the reed. So it's not going to last as long. So I do try to break in my reeds naturally. I first test my reeds to see how strong they are and what kind of a crow they get and what it sounds like when I blow it in full. If it sounds really good and I like the strength of it and everything, put the reed in and play it for a little while and then see how it goes. If it's not going to work, then I just change the reed. So I know that was a bit of a long-winded explanation, but I hope that answered the question. Yeah. Actually, the other thing that you can do with seeing if it's the drone reeds or the chanter reed is when you have the chanter in the pipes and the drones going, try turning off all the drones. Turn off all the drones, all the tenors and the bass, and play the chanter and see how it sounds. It's actually kind of annoying and sometimes how the chanter sounds when it's on its own versus when it's with the drones. It's actually very interesting. If you've never tried it, I encourage you to try it because you might be surprised of how much difference there is between when the drones are off and when the drones are on and the chanter is going. I have to do that every now and then if I'm really struggling with a setup I got going. I'm going to quickly go grab some more water and I'll be right back, okay? Let me know your questions afterwards here. Okay, there we go. I am back. Sorry about that. So, still have a couple of people on here, and I think probably the questions that the others had has been answered. So we're at 11 now. I tabled this to go till about noonish, and if we don't have any more questions after a while, then we might just end it at 11:30. But I thought I'd give people enough time to get on the stream and ask what they need to ask. One thing about piping is that you never stop learning about how to make your setup better and learn tunes. Out of all the years I've been doing this, September is gonna, I think it's gonna be 25. It's crazy. I'm still learning stuff all the time because there's just so many different ways to set your pipes up, and there's a lot of different reasons why your pipe might not be air efficient and stuff like that. And if your pipes are not air efficient, you got to figure that out really soon, right? There's no sense of playing in a pipe that's not air efficient because it's not fun to play when it's not airtight. So, actually, on the subject of airtightness, from Lewis. Yes, thank you, Kyle. Very informative. Appreciate your responses. You're welcome. I often just blow some warm, moist air through the pipes to get started. Thanks again. Have a great day. You too. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you could do that. That would be excellent. Thank you. With air tightness in the bag, that's one thing I want to quickly touch on. Is if you think that your pipes are not very airtight or you're not sure about it, put rubber corks in your stocks and in the chanter stock, but keep your blow pipe in because you want to be able to fill the bag up. Inflate the bag and then give it a bit of a squeeze and see how much air goes out of the pipes. It's not going to be 100% airtight, but it's going to be as airtight as you can get depending on how it is. So if you feel that it's losing a lot of air, like, let's see here. If you count to, let's say, 15 to 20 seconds, and it feels like there's quite a bit of air that's gone out of it, like maybe an eighth to a quarter of the capacity of the bag, then that's probably a very good indicator that that bag needs attention. If it needs attention, then it might be, there's a few things that could be the cause of it. The connection between the stocks and the bag itself. So see if there's any, you put your fingers around the stocks there to see if there's any air coming out of there. If there is, and that's a problem, then the bag might have to be replaced. Or maybe just fixed it. You could put some glue or something in there to fix it. But that'll be for a manufacturer to help you out with. If it's a point about having air coming out around the connection between your blowpipe and your blowpipe stock, then that's not as nearly a big a deal. You can probably just put some hemp, add some hemp to the stock of the blowpipe, and help to seal off that gap so that it prevents the air from coming out. And sometimes that's all you need to help get that pipe bag up to the air efficiency level that you need it to get to. It's kind of like it's like testing out a computer. You test out all the easy stuff first, and then do series, and then you do process of elimination. And if it's something a little bit more complex that a supplier needs to help you with, then you would probably need to get a hold of them and tell them what's going on and then see what's happening with it. But yeah, air efficiency is so important. A lot of people don't realize just how important air efficiency is for playing pipes. I check mine every now and then just to ensure that the bag is not the culprit if I'm having issues with it. If it's not the bag, then you got to check the level of air that's going through the drone reeds. That'll be your next thing. So, if you have any other questions, then put them in the chat. Gotta leave, but I will watch the rest in the recording if available. Thanks a lot, Kyle, for your time doing the live chat, answering our questions. Cheers. Thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate your time, and have a good day for the rest of the stuff that you're doing. And the recording will be available. Yep, definitely will. I got any other people that have come on for the live stream. If you have any other questions, that I think you can go. You can scroll back up to the top of the chat and see what's been asked and everything. If there's anything that I haven't answered or hasn't been chatted about, then you can leave it in the chat, because I don't. Everyone's mic should be muted if you have one, because otherwise there's gonna be too much ambient noise. But yeah, you can leave it in that, or you can also put a comment down below after the stream is over, and I'll reply to it, because this will be recorded. So this is going pretty well. I was not sure what to expect with this live stream, but this has gone very, very well. I'm happy about this. I'll be doing another one eventually. Just not sure when. So, any is everybody comfortable with how to choose reeds, like pipe chanter reeds and stuff like that? That's usually a pretty big one that carries a lot of subjectiveness. Not everyone is familiar with how to choose pipe reeds, and sometimes that can be a little bit challenging, and I would totally understand that. I'll give you guys a little minutes here to type anything in. Do you like have a question? I'm gonna put my other reed away. This is all the reeds that I have ready to go here if I need them. I just gave one of my band students one of these reeds, and it sounds really good. So, yeah, this live stream is going really well. I'm happy with this. So, I'd be interested to know where you guys are all from in the world. I know that someone's from India, and guessing one person's who just left is from Eastern Canada and wherever else. Oh, Lewis has just asked, have you ever made your own reeds? I have never actually made my own personal reeds, but I did make reeds with Jack Lee, and last time I checked his website for what kind of bagpipes he offered, I didn't see pipe chanter reeds on there, so maybe he I don't know what happened with that, but years back, and I think it would have been at least 5 to 6 years before, I did make chanter reeds with him. Oh, New York, nice. I did make pipe chanter reeds with him for a while. I did the part of the reed where I made the copper staples that go into the bottom of the reeds. I also handled the let's call them rectangular pieces of cane, where you would put them down on the little gadget thingy that helped you to shape the reeds. So I believe, and I'm trying to remember because this is a while ago, the thickness of the reeds would have already been determined, and I was working with the reeds that just had to be shaped. So we had a little contraption where I would place it into a really specifically designed spot in this little machine, where you would place them down in there and make sure that they're steady, because you don't want to break the thing, and then press a handle or something down, and then put pressure on it, and I would cut the sides of the reeds so that you would have instead of the reed going this way, you would have it going out this way from the binding, where the binding would be down here. So I did that for a while, and then my schedule changed, and I just couldn't work for him anymore. But I went for lessons with him for quite a while, and that's how that's how I help to pay the lessons off because I've never been rich. Um, I don't know how I would spend my money if I ever was rich, and I don't. I'm a pretty I'm a pretty I'm pretty good with my money for the vast majority of it. But yeah, that's I've never actually made my own reads, but I helped make Jack Lee's anyway. So um, when you say oh, so I'm good. Yeah, okay. So New York, there's quite a bit of space in New York. So eventually eventually I'll go to New York City. I've only ever been in New York Airport. I think it was the Wayne Kennedy one or John F. Kennedy Airport. So that's as much as I've been in New York. That's cool. That's very cool. But yeah, reads are a whole different kettle of fish. Actually, my wife asked me if I ever considered making my own reads, and I'm like, I would need to do a whole lot of research for one. I would need the space for two, and for three, I would need to have the suppliers to give me the materials to make the reads and know how to do the bindings and have all the equipment for that. That's a big investment that I like. If I was to do that right now, that would be a very very interesting journey. So I'm just not ready for that. But yeah, I learned a lot about how reeds work when I was making them with Jack, and he was so helpful with it. Such a knowledgeable person. It's unreal. His knowledge is just crazy. But yeah. Um, Now, for anybody who is new to the chat from the last maybe half hour or something, I did mention about how to choose pipe reeds, and I'll just quickly summarize that. Don't go with pipe chanter reeds that are way too hard for you. There's no point in trying to blow in a pipe chanter reed that's too hard. Go for blow in a reed, and if you struggle with it, then it's not the right reed for you. Go with a reed that feels like you're not having to like blow your head off. You know what I mean? And when you go for a reed, you want to hear the crow. So actually, I'm gonna try. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll come through properly on here, but I'm gonna find. I have two reeds in my little bin here, and I know that this reed actually sounds pretty decent. So I'm gonna blow into it when you test a reed. You want to blow into it gently. You don't want to go. You want to gradually increase your pressure when you blow into it, and try to hear a crow. So let's see if I can get this. So you heard that crow there. So I'll do it one more time. So you hear that little bit there. So you got a bit of a crow going. It's not like it's not that kind of a crow. So the other reed I gave my student on Thursday night, that reed had more of a crow. So this one doesn't have as much on it. But then you hear that nice tone right there. So that tone right there, that's actually the kind of tone that you want to hear. So the reed wasn't too hard for me, and I was able to blow it through. And there is a bit of a rule of thumb that if you blow a reed in and you're trying to test it for strength, you need to be able to put it in the chanter that you're wanting to tune, and try playing the first line of Scone the Brave. If you can't get through that, then the reed is probably just a little bit too hard for you. You can take a knife or sandpaper and sand down the sound box, which is the area right above the binding, and below the middle of the reed. If the reed doesn't have, if the reed is like this, then sand or shave just in this area here. You don't want to go above here because that's where you're going to get into more technical stuff that I won't go into yet. But yeah, choosing reeds is really important. So don't play a reed that's too hard for you, and just blow into it and see how much of a crow you get, because that'll determine the strength of the reed and how long it will hopefully last you. Trying to choose reads can be a bit of a gamble if you're not sure what you're doing, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what you need to be looking for. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. There's quite a bit there already, which is great. So I'd love to hear some more questions that I can hopefully answer. Somebody, one of the viewers, I don't know if they're still on here, but they asked about how to get involved with Army School of, or like a UK Army band. You'd have to get a hold of Army School of Piping at Edinburgh Castle or something like that. I'm sure there's somebody you can get a hold of for that. But that's a little bit more out of my ballpark range of knowledge. So, yeah, you would have to get a hold of somebody there, and hopefully they can help you out with knowing how to do that. Actually, one other thing I want to mention now that I mentioned that is if you ever want to increase your knowledge and want to take like tests and stuff like that, the National Piping Center has a really good array of tests and training that you can go through if you're in that area, and you can also do it virtually to some extent. They may have that option open, but I currently have the level 6, which includes practical and theory. I was going to look at level 8, but there was a lot more in there that I wasn't prepared for, so I had to drop out. But those are really, really good tests to prepare for and learn from. So if you haven't looked into them anyway, I would encourage you to do so, because that really helps you to understand and learn about the way the pipes are and where they came from, like all the history and stuff like that, because that stuff is really, really cool to think about. And like where pipe music actually came out of as a genre of music all on its own. And if anyone isn't sure where bagpipes came from, they don't come from Scotland. They actually didn't. They came from I believe it was India. They were the first ever bagpipe, I believe, came from India. It was either India or Egypt. It was one of those two. I'd have to check my facts. But Scotland adopted the instrument as their national instrument. But that was a long while ago. But yeah, they didn't originally come out of Scotland. They're just they're a lot of a lot of people believe that they actually came from Scotland, which they actually didn't, but Scotland adopted them as their national instrument. And that's what a lot of people think of when they hear Scotland, is they think of bagpipes, and depending on how well tuned they are. So that's a very interesting thing that I learned about a long while ago, and a lot of people don't realize. They go, "Oh, are you serious? They didn't come from Scotland?" And I'm like, no, they didn't actually. They were just adopted as a national instrument. So they're like, "Wow, I never heard that." I'm like, no, a lot of people don't. So it's a fun little fact, trivia for you. So yeah, I thought that was interesting to know, and there's a lot of different types of bagpipes. So it's 11:20 now. So we have four people watching. So if we don't get too many more comments, then I might just end the stream at like 1:45 or 11:30 or something like that. But we'll see what happens the next few minutes here. Yeah, so for all of you who have come onto the stream this morning, I really appreciate your time, and hopefully I've been able to answer some questions for you and stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I'll do another one eventually. I'll do like live stream 1.0 or 2.0 or something. A lot of people have 5 people have given a thumbs up, which is really good. So that tells me that I'm doing something right. And if there's for anyone who's joined recently, if there's a tune that you would like to learn that I can record soon, then let me know as well, because there's a ton of tunes that we could go over that can help you with like if there's tricky parts, like tricky phrase, like a 2-bar phrase or a part or something that you're struggling with, then I can help you with that in a video that others can watch too. Oh, Jim asks, what's the name of the school you mentioned? Oh, okay. Um, the school you mentioned. Oh, okay. I think you're talking about Army School of Piping, because that was one of the questions that a viewer from India asked about. He was asking about how do you join a UK Army band. So Army School of Piping is it's based in Scotland, and they do a lot of training out of Edinburgh Castle. I've never actually done the training myself, and looked into it, but there, from what I remember searching on Google, there are 2 or 3 different campuses that the school does. They're strictly for piping, I believe, piping and drumming, and they go over marching and deployment and a bunch of other stuff, including like piping history and other things like that. So, Army School of Piping. Actually, I'm gonna write that down here. Army School of Piping. Yeah, Army School of Piping. There we go. You can look that up on Google, and they have a bunch of different things in there and whatnot. So, yeah, you're welcome. It's very interesting, all the stuff that they have in there, because I believe that John D. Burgess and Brian Donaldson and a bunch of other people have gone through that, especially if they've done their Pi Majors course, which has a lot of stuff in it. There's a lot of stuff that I've never done it myself. Like that would be a full-time thing for me to do that. But yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're awesome! Thank you very much. I'm humbled to see that comment. Thank you. If any of you are not subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. And I really enjoy doing all these videos and helping you guys out with knowledge and continually learning. So that would really help me out if you helped out the channel and everything else. So yeah. That would be excellent. If I seem a little bit on the tired side, I am tired. Work yesterday was very very it was busy as heck, because I work in a restaurant. Said that a few times for the people who have been in the chat since like 9:45 or something, but yeah, yesterday was just crazy. One person didn't show up, and I worked till for taking orders, so it was very very busy. I was exhausted last night, so. That's why I thought I'm happy I made the stream to officially start at 10 a.m. So I was happy I did that, because I would have been exhausted at like 8 a.m. in the morning. So yeah. But yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple of different questions come in the last 15 minutes or so. So. We might just end the stream at 11:45, but we'll see how it goes here. Any questions about maintenance with pipes that you're unsure about? How to maybe hemp stalks and stuff like that? Hemping drone stalks can be a pain, and honestly, if a drone stalk is not hemped properly, that will contribute to air efficiency problems with your pipes, and then it's not gonna make your pipes easy to play. It's gonna make them harder, and it's gonna take away from the enjoyment of it. Oh, now I hope I don't mispronounce your name. Exo. I've been trying to get a GHB, a Great Highland bagpipe, on my own, and your videos are very much welcome. Well, thank you very much. I'm happy to know that. You've enjoyed my videos, so they've been helpful for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lets me know I'm doing something right, right? I've really enjoyed this live stream. Like this is awesome. Dang. I'm definitely gonna do this again. I just don't know when. There's somebody else does there's a channel creator school that in the States that I've been watching, and they do audits and stuff like that for different channels. So it would be interesting if they did one of mine, but they do live streams and stuff like this too, and they look like they've enjoyed it, and I can understand why. Like, it makes you feel good when you're able to, help people out with knowledge and answer questions and stuff that is easier just to do through a format like this instead of having to do comments all the time through videos. Because I don't always have my schedule doesn't always allow me to answer questions that I might be able to answer in a couple of days through comments on my videos. So. Oops. Let's get that back on. Why did that go off? There we go. Oh, good question. Lewis asks, do you prefer Blackwood or Poley chanters? Okay, how do I go about this question? Blackwood or Poley? Blackwood, I would prefer that kind of chanter with solos because Blackwood chanters give off a more harmonious sound than Poley chanters do. Not to say that Poley chanters don't sound good; they can sound absolutely amazing with the right setup and the right read. Blackwood chanters are more preferable, at least to me anyway, for solo chanters. Just because, as I put it anyway, they breathe easier. They tend to they don't give off as much volume, for one thing, as Poley chanters do. Just because Poley chanters are more dense, and Blackwoods are, Blackwoods are a bit softer. So Blackwood I use for solos. Poley we use for band because Poley give off more volume than Blackwood do. And actually, the one thing so that's actually probably one of the shorter answers I've given on the questions I've answered today. The one other thing I want to point out that just came to my mind with this question, actually, it's kind of related, is when I've seen a lot of people still go for eBay bagpipes, which I mean, it's just awareness, right? I'm not pointing fingers or anything. It's just awareness. A lot of people don't realize just the quality of eBay bagpipes, and the chanters that come with eBay bagpipes are not Blackwood. They are Rosewood. And the difference between Blackwood and Rosewood is that Blackwood is a lot more dense. So if you've ever worked with eBay bagpipes, and I have a video that I've done 2 videos, I think, on eBay bagpipes that I'll link below in the video after we're done. And Rosewood is not nearly as dense as Blackwood, African Blackwood is. Rosewood is a lot more soft, and it doesn't give the same level of, it's not as sturdy a structure as Blackwood is. Blackwood is much more dense, and it's stronger. Yeah, Rose, I was very careful. I had to be very careful with the Rosewood chanter when I tested out the eBay bagpipes I was working with. So it actually made me a little bit nervous taking that thing out because it didn't feel nearly as strong as the Blackwood did. I just went, oh my gosh, like, like it looked pretty. Rosewood, aesthetically, visually is still quite nice, and but when it comes to practicality and playing in the drones in the chanter or the pipes rather, go for Blackwood. Blackwood is definitely going to be more expensive than Rosewood is, just because of the type of wood it is. But you're not going to look back. You're not going to be disappointed, I guarantee you. Blackwood is going to give you a lot more structure and peace of mind knowing that it's stronger than rosewood is. Rosewood is honestly is not meant for piping. It really is not. A lot of if you look at other uh, if you look at videos of people reviewing eBay bagpipes and even the reviews on eBay themselves, or it's the eBay page itself, you'll notice that a lot of people say it's good. I believe that is a lack of awareness. They don't realize just the quality level of difference between eBay bagpipes and say bagpipes from say McCallum or Nail or RG Hardy. Those are some of the big names, and no disrespect to any of the others that I did mention there. So, oh, oh, thank you, Jim. I've been on several pipe chats, but yours is by far the best. You're a fine teacher. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much for that comment. I'm so humbled. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel unreal. You have no idea. I'm very happy that I'm able to answer questions and give you guys the knowledge that I have. Yeah. Yeah. eBay bagpipes. If I know they're a lot cheaper than regular bagpipes that you get from any of the other guys I mentioned, but getting a set of bagpipes for like $150 versus like you can get a good set of pipes. I think pulley pipes for like as low as between $600 and $700 Canadian. $500 difference. I know to most people that's a lot, but really you're not going to be disappointed going for a set of $600 pipes versus $150. There's such a huge difference between the two. They're going to last you more. And when I got the eBay bagpipes and I was working with them, I think I did point this out in the video, I believe, when I recorded it. The silver bits on the drone stocks where you would put the drones in, those areas were not even polished. The silver was actually kind of rough and it was a little bit sharp on the edges. I was really disappointed to see that, and that's just quality production to me. It's a lack thereof. So I thankfully did not cut myself on any of that stuff, but it just showed the lack of craftsmanship that went into those pipes, and they sell a lot just because they're so cheap. And I understand that, right? It's price. But like, if you can do yourself a favor and your friends as well. If a friend of yours, or somebody you know asks if, say they got a set of eBay bagpipes, just tell them that they're probably not going to get what they want out of them. A lot of people will say that eBay bagpipes are for a wall ornament, and it's a pretty correct and accurate assessment. If I dropped my eBay bagpipes, I wouldn't even cry. If I drop my my own pipes, my Robertsons, I would be absolutely devastated. Because my pipes are almost 100 year, no, not 100, not quite that old. My pipes were made in 1945, 50 era. So those pipes, if those broke, I would be beside myself. I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd be like, shoot, I have to like fix those things right away. I need those to play. Yeah, because even the sound difference between eBay bagpipes and like my pipes, for example. There's such a difference. It's such a difference. I had to change the drone reeds and the chanter reed in the eBay pipes so that they would actually sound half decent, and I use half very loosely. So yeah, that's that was a very interesting experience, but I'm happy I went through that because I was able to learn a bunch of stuff from that. Yeah. If any of you, if anyone hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, please, I would very kindly ask that you do so. It costs you absolutely, there's no cost to subscribing to the channel whatsoever. And you won't get any emails either. If you're worried about emails bombarding your inbox, that won't happen. The only way you're gonna get emails for to say that a video has come up is if you hit if you select the notifications or the bell icon, and I can't see it on my screen right here, but there is, I believe it's on the bottom right next to subscribe. Um, if you select that, then you will get email notifications. But otherwise, you can check it whenever you want, and that's completely up to you. But subscribe is completely different. It just helps the channel promote it so that people like YouTube, the YouTube system itself knows that my channel is actually doing good and people are watching, which I can clearly see, and that's fantastic. Um, I upload videos, and sometimes they don't always get the greatest views, but you know what? That's just the way YouTube is, and that's what I've learned over the last while. Um, Actually, one question I haven't been asked, it's that I think I should mention is how long have I been doing YouTube for? I know I've been doing piping for, I've been piping September this year will be 25 years, and I've been doing YouTube for consistently now for maybe a couple of years. I started the channel about 10 years ago, and then life happens, and I didn't upload for about 4 years. Had I realized just how much impact, positive impact, this channel was going to have on viewers and for people around the world, I would have been much more on top of it. But back then, I just didn't realize just how much it was helping out. I did have people asking me questions, which I sadly didn't respond to most of them because I just didn't. I was going through some, other life events, but. I'm happy that I'm happy that I'm able to put time towards it now, and it's showing that I'm able to contribute positively to helping people improve their piping. So that's like the biggest thing that I can get out of this. And eventually, I will be able to start making a little bit of money off of YouTube, and that will help me do more of this consistently. But money doesn't grow on trees, unfortunately. But it's just about 11:40 now, so still shows I still have one person watching. So there's been a lot of questions asked and answered here. So we'll keep this open for a little while longer till about 1:45, and then if let's see here. Actually, I'm going to put this in so that people actually come in and they see it. I'll keep the stream open for another, let's say, 10 minutes. And if there's anybody who still has questions that they haven't asked yet and haven't given them an answer, then they can do that for another 10 minutes. Then we'll close it up. But this has been absolutely fantastic. I didn't even know what to expect with all of this. I haven't done a YouTube stream before. I've done Twitch streams with for like games and stuff because I do play PC games. But this was different. I've never actually done a YouTube stream before, so now I know kind of what to expect. So, any questions about tuning, maintenance, area efficiency, anything like that you have that I can answer, then put it up in the chat. Then I'll be happy to answer it if I can. So many people came on this chat. Like, that's just unreal. That's so cool. This is going to be I'm also recording this. This is going to be a really big. This is going to be a big recording. I think the last time I made a recording like this was like 2 gigs. So let's have to and I won't edit any of this stuff. It'll literally just be the full recording. So that'll be easy. I'll just literally put it up, and it'll be available for anyone who wants to watch it afterwards. Um, oh, okay. Does the pulley pipes is difficult to tune? Not really, to be honest. Pulley pipes and Blackwood pipes, they're not really any different for tuning. I've never technically played um, a pulley pipe before, at least not for more than a couple of tunes. But no, they're not difficult to tune at all. They're pretty much the same as Blackwood pipes are for tuning. Um, like I said before, the Blackwood pipes are just maybe going to be a little bit more mellower. They're going to be barely subtly quieter than the pulley pipes are, but that's pretty much it. Lewis asks, I have a cracked blow stick chanter stock. Uh-oh. I'm waiting for a replacement, but did you say you can repair it with super glue? I have it wrapped with electrical tape. Um, that's a little bit out of my ballpark range for knowledge. I've never actually had to deal with that myself. Uh, Repair with super glue. The first, how do I put it? Oh, my mind's going blank. Come on, buddy. Um, buddy for me. For super glue, my only caution, I guess, I would use is being careful that you don't use anything that's going to cause the wood to the split in the wood to widen, right? That's completely opposite of what you're trying to accomplish. You If you want to use super glue, it really depends what brand you use. Because if you get like a brand of super glue from like a dollar store, it really depends on what you get. There's a lot of gray area in that. You can Other types of glue that's stronger than super glue is like Gorilla Glue that you can get from like hardware, and that might be American or Canadian thing, I don't know which. But that stuff is primarily used for joining wood together, because I used to do a lot of woodwork in high school, and I also I worked in woodwood shops. Wood workshops. My gosh, that's a tongue twister. And we didn't use super glue because it wasn't strong enough. Um, just because of the thickness of pipe stocks, super glue. If it really depends on how big the crack is as well. If the crack doesn't go all the way through, like if you look at the top edge of the stock where the drone would go into, and the crack doesn't go from the exterior side to the interior of the drone stock, then it would depend. If it's all the way through, then you have to use something that's liquidy enough that it would go all the way through. But with something like that, I would just stick for now. I think I would just stick with the electrical tape. If it electrical tape, I think that would be fine. If you got to you're waiting for a replacement, you got it coming, then just stick with that. I think it would be the easiest thing. Because it also depends on how old the pipes are. If the pipes are really old, depending on depends on their condition, then you want to be careful with that, because you want to prevent further damage to it, right? We don't want to do that. So that would be my safe bet. That would be my safe answer, is just continue using electrical tape. Yeah, having a cracked blow stick, and chanter blow stick chanter stock. Okay, those are two separate things. I read it again. Blow stick chanter tape, or chanter stock. Yeah, it's two different things. Either way, yeah, I would just stick with the chanter tape. This has been very helpful. Thank you so much. Jim was right. You are the best. I'm very humbled by the comments. I really am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, I try to do the best I can for you guys. I have a fair bit of knowledge that I've been very thankful for from all my mentors over the years, and they're all amazing. So I've learned a lot from other people. So it's not just me. But I think we'll. Oh, blow stick stock. Gotcha. I was wondering about that. Oh, good. I was wondering. Yeah. Yeah, below stick stock, chatter stock. To be honest, it's the same thing. All the stocks are going to be the same. So in that sense, it's pretty universal with that. Thank you for answering my questions. More power to you, sir. Thank you for coming on to the live stream and being with me for this. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I hope that these questions and answers have been helpful for all of you. There's a lot of information that's gone into this, so. Thank you for being a part of it. That's awesome. After this, I'm gonna go eat, and then I gotta help my mom move a fish tank because she's moving in about a week or two to a new place. So I'm gonna help her with that soon. But my wife is off to the U.S. with her dad today. So quiet house. I hope they're having a good time down there. And I hope you guys are having a good time where you are and wherever you happen to go after this. Legendary 3D Gamer. Hello, human being. Hello back, human being. Oh, we got two more people that just came onto this. Legendary 3D Gamer. That's an interesting name. You're 3D. You ever been 2D? I'm kidding. Nice to have you on the stream. Any other questions about bagpipes or anything like that? It's see if I can answer them. It's we got about 10 minutes left. I said I was gonna end the stream. I don't even know when I actually said that. Let's see here. Okay, I think I said I'll keep the stream open for about 10 minutes, and I think I said that at 11:40, give or take. So we'll go for a few more minutes. Then I'll have to. Then I'll end it. The recording will. This will be recorded. Whoops. Where am I? There we go. This will be recorded and posted to my channel for others to view later. Recording, posting, that's too feel. Okay, William Cairns. What's your pipe setup, including the make of your pipe? Oh, okay. Pipe setup I have right now. For band, we're using easy drone reeds. We have Ganoe pipe bags, which I use anyway because I only have one set of pipes. And for my solo setup, we have I've actually just transitioned to a cane bass, which I haven't done for a while, and easy drone reeds for the tenors, and that's a really stable setup. The reed I'm using, I don't even know what type it is. It might be a Chesney or a McPhee or something. I'm not sure which, but it sounds excellent. The pitch is a lot higher. The chanter I had in earlier was it didn't have the pitch that I was looking for, so I changed it. But for make of pipe, mine is Robertson's, and I know Robertson's aren't made anymore. I think they stopped making them in like maybe I'm gonna take a bit of a guess, the 80s, 90s maybe. I know somebody else who has one or two sets of Robertsons, and they give a really, really good bass sound. Very good. Very good. I created this. Okay, from Gamer, I created this channel just because I thought of it because originally I was gonna be called Toxic Gamer and got told not to because I found out what toxic. Yeah, toxic is not a. That's a lot of overlay in that in toxic. I can tell you. But yeah, if well, since you're a gamer, if you want to go check if you're interested, you can go check out my gaming channel. I run 3 different channels. Fantastic Gaming, if you're interested. What Abel Diaz? Hope I said that right. What is your opinion to the tone enhancers? Oh, interesting. Tone enhancers. I've never actually used them. They, I think. I can't remember if Peel Police Pipe Band used them in the past for drone enhancers. They might have, but I have never actually used the tone enhancers. I believe that they can be used for the chanter and the drones, but I've never personally tested them out. So can't really comment too much. Honestly, that's something else I should look at doing later on. I got 5 people viewing now. Wow. the viewer count over the last little while has kind of gone up and down, but that's okay. That's the nature of streams. So if you're new to the stream, and we'll be going till about we will run. We'll run till noon. Run till 12. Oops. There. Oh shoot. Apparently that did something that I didn't want for my camera. There we go. That's better. We'll run till 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. There we go. So you have an idea. So this will, as I just posted in the chat, this will be recorded and posted to my channel for others to view later on, just because I know that not everyone's able to make this time. If you're around the world, like if you have people from New York, India, like that's insane. That's because that's a long way away. We will have it will be up so you can watch it again, and I'm gonna put up one more thing. Just trying one more thing here that I've said a few times. It would probably be better if I just put it in the chat here. There we go. Yeah, so I just posted. If you have not subscribed to the channel and enjoy the content, enjoy this live stream, please subscribe to the channel. There's no emails that you get unless you hit the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. If you're not that's I think that's an awareness thing. So you don't want to get bombarded with a bunch of emails from me, right? It's that would be annoying. So yeah. You can subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. There's no cost to it whatsoever. And there's channels that I've subscribed to, and sometimes I forget that I've subscribed to them. But subscribing to the channel helps it out, even if you don't, even if you check out the channel on your own time and don't get email notifications. It's kind of the way YouTube works. It's a weird system, right? But I hope that I've answered all the questions and stuff on here. But yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's been mentioned in here, and we got about 5 more minutes, and then we'll end the stream. So for those who have stuck around for the whole thing, and those who have just come in and everything else, thank you for attending the live stream. And I'll be doing this soon again. So those will be posted on my Facebook page as well for the link, and I'll put that on the page as well. I'll put all the links down below in the description of this afterwards when I post it. It's been like a 2-hour live stream. We've done a lot of stuff. We've gone over a lot of things. So lots of knowledge, lots of questions being asked, which is absolutely fantastic. A lot of good people in here, and I like this. So, see where it goes. It was a busy day yesterday, and it's going to be a good day today, too. For my game channel, I know it's not piping, but it's fantastic. Actually, no. Let me. I'll type it in here. Fantastic Gaming. There we go. I know it's not bagpipe related, but if it works out. Fantastic Gaming. Yeah, that's my gaming channel. Yeah. I play PC games and stuff like that, and do a variety of different things. But this is my bagpiping is my main thing. So go check it out, and I'll check out yours as well. If anybody, we only got about 3 minutes left on this before my PC clock says it's noon, and then we'll end the live stream for this channel. So if you have any questions about piping, bagpipes, and maintenance and tuning that you haven't asked already, then feel free. Otherwise, you can always send me an email through my website at bantamusic.com, and leave a comment in this video when I post it as well. I hope the audio has been good in this. I've had this mic for a couple of months now, and it's absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, I hope it's been helpful for everybody who's come on, and there's a lot of stuff, so you can go up and down the chat and see what's been discussed and everything. Then you can watch it back later. Oof. Oh, by the way, you can check out the shirt that I'm wearing. It's got bagpipes on it with a whole bunch of different things on it, and the words might be a little bit hard to see, but this shirt's absolutely fantastic. My wife got it for me not long ago. It was hilarious. I went, "That's awesome." Sounding great, Lewis. Sounding great. Have a great day. Thank you for coming on, and I hope that this was helpful and informative for you. Hopefully, eventually I can make this more of a full-time endeavor, because that would be fantastic. See what my schedule allows, and I'll be putting up the third and fourth part of Meeting of the Waters for the March that I've been posting. If you've been following the videos, I'll put that up soon, so we can get that done, and let me know if there's any other tunes that you would like me to go over, and I'll record them as well. the number of tunes that we can go over is just endless, pretty much. So that's been really good. We got about 1 more minute, so if you have any other last questions, let me know, and we'll try to put them in. And that when my timer hits 12, then the stream will be done. And I'm gonna go eat. I'm hungry, and I need some more water. Excuse me. I've already refilled my cup once, so I'm gonna have to do it again. That's a good thing. Oh, there we go. So my clock has hit 12 p.m. So that will conclude the live stream for today for Kyle Banta Music. That's the channel of my bagpipe channel. If you're a new person, if you're somebody who has just come on the channel for the live stream and you've enjoyed it and enjoyed the found all this information and good, and please subscribe to the channel. We're at over 1,000 subscribers, which we hit about a month and a half ago, maybe. And I would love to make this more of a job than it is now. So over 1,000 subscribers, and got a lot of new stuff coming up. So Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream today. We'll have another one soon. I just don't know when. But this has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you for coming onto the live stream, asking questions, and being so supportive. And you guys are absolutely awesome. Never forget that. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream, and I will see you in the next video that I record. So please subscribe to the channel so that you know, and then hit the bell icon for subscription so you know when it's when the next video is coming up. And I will see you all later on. Have a great guys, and I will see you later on.